Shir sponsor Nishbas Am Yakushon Labasitzchok. We're holding over Kama Daf Yud Ches. We're starting Daf Yud Zayin and Mud Base, about 8 lines from the bottom. Something more Torah about. Tani Golin Shir Michadatim Bechevel Li, Venifsek Achevel Venishbar Li. So you have chickens, and they are biting on to a rope, and the rope is holding on to a bucket. Right? So you have a rope. The rope is connected to the bucket, and they're eating up the top of the rope. Now they cut off the rope, and the bucket fell down and broke. They're paying Nezek Shalom. They are paying Nezek Shalom. Right? That's what we have the Torah Bava, and the Gemara is going to come and address it in a moment. Boy, Rav asked a question. So Rav is asking the following question. We learned that if you have a kli, that an animal walked on a kli and broke it, Nezek Shalom. If it stepped on a kli, it flew in the air and broke something else, Chatzi Nezek. What happens if the kli itself flew in the air and the kli itself broke, but not here, it broke there? Do I say that it's considered to be tzroros because it broke there, or because she stepped over here, it's considered to be regular nezek? That's the question. Dar kli, she stepped on a kli, lo yishavar, she didn't break it. Finish galgamon goacha, that she made it move to somewhere else. Finish there it broke. Ma, do you say you go back to where it was and it came from his body, or you go based on the fact that it broke somewhere else, it's service? So they want to the rabbi. Bring a ran from rabbi. A person is throwing a kli from the roof. Comes a guy with a stick, or imagine with a bat, and as the kli is coming in the air, it's not much baseball. Now, the guy is throwing the ball from the kli from the roof. Comes the guy with a bat and swings the bat and breaks the kli in the air. Potter. You say it's potter. Who's potter? Where Rashi learns. The second one is potter. You broke a broken item. Meaning, when Reuven threw the kli from the roof, and the kli is flying down, it's about to break. Any second it's about to break. Now it broke by Shimon. Shimon broke something which was already broken. So the Rav is Pashut. Meaning that what? It's considered to be broken even before it broke. When Reuven threw it from the roof, it's considered to be already broken. The Rav had a question. Rav wasn't sure. We'll get back to this in one moment. I want to see the Taisis, which is a very important Taisis. But let's just finish the Shaklatar of this Gemara. Toshma Hidus Eino Muad. The Hashemim raise the Muad. Hidus means when the bird is dancing on the kli. Some say it's Muad, some say it's not Muad. Hidus Sakadaita would mean when it's jumping and breaking. That's regular walking of a chicken. Elalav Hidus Vihitis. I'm talking about that it was flying on a kli and it caused the kli to jump in the air. One says you go based on the fact where it broke somewhere else. So it's not more, it was only Chatzi Nezek. One says it threw it from here. Second one, Daf Yud Ches. The destroyers. Second one, loy. The destroyers. They're talking about regular destroyers. Not that the kli flew and broke. Talking about that the chicken threw a pebble that fell on the kli and broke the kli somewhere else. Well, that's classic of we saw before, is destroyers you pay half a nezek or nezek shal. Tashma another raya. Tani goyin shemichatetim bechevel li v'nifsek achevel v'nishbar li. That's what we saw before. Right, that's what we started today. You have the chickens, they're touching the rope, and then the rope tears, and the kli falls. Shalmi nezek shalim. But even though the kli is broken only later, the kli is not broken right away. Shmami the bosom yikaras li see go based on the ikaro. Says the more tirguma achevel. The chevel you have to pay nezek shalim. The rope. So what about chevel mishuna? What do you mean chevel? The chevel is not normal for a chicken to eat a rope. It's called the mos belisha. On the chevel there's dough, and they came and ate the dough. And that's why it broke the chevel. I mean, that's normal. That's why do you tell me that the bucket broke if you talk about it only by the rope? Ela sumchus yidom etzuris nezik shalom mishalem. That sumchus, meaning sumchus holes every tzuris you pay nezik shalom. If you threw a pebble on a kli, or if you threw the kli itself, so that's what you pay nezik shalom. Yisuchus if it's suchus, look at that next part. It says that same price. It continues. It says, if something fell out of that kli, a piece, and clearly it says over here, the kli that fell when it breaks, you pay nezik shalom. Then when something it went from here and went to somewhere else, it's chatzin nezik. According to sumchus, according to sumchus, there's no chatzin nezik. It's nezik shalom. So there can't be sumchus. So no, maybe you'll tell me there is a difference according to sumchus. Sumchus holds when an animal goes and throws a pebble in the air and the pebble hits a kli, nazik shalom. If then from that there was a piece of the kli that fell in the air and went somewhere else, then you pay only chatzin. Maybe the second power is only chatzin. The Rashi asks the question: is it a power like koyach hadat? We have a raya for a brisa. Clearly, that's not a koyach. So to say that this brisa is sukkah is hard to say. You see, it's rabbanon. You see a raya. There's a difference. When you throw a pebble on a kli and the kli breaks over there, everything happens over there. That's chatzin nezik. But if you throw the kli itself and the kli breaks over there, then it's nezik shalom. You go based on the beginning. We're talking about, in this case, that the chicken he cut the rope and then he pushed the kli. He was touching the kli until the kli broke somewhere else. It wasn't that he threw the kli, and then the kli rolled somewhere else and broke there, but the chicken was throwing the kli with it. It's hard to understand exactly. He was pushing it, so what's the chiddush? That's a question according to this pshat of the Gemara, and we'll stay with that it's a question according to Rashi. Those other pshat in the Rishonim that Efsha over here that we're talking about, the case that we talk about that Rabbah said someone throws a kli mirosh shagag, one breaks it, it says potter. Who's potter? So we said the second one is potter. The Ravi learns that the first one is potter. Why is the first one potter? I didn't break it. So the one wants to be a raya. You see, you don't go based on mikara, because you go based on mikara, so then the first one should be chayav because it would be break anyway. So the Gemara says maybe it's not a raya, and that's a big discussion that we're showing. What do you learn from me? But the push-up shot in our sugyas you learn like a second one, meaning the Gemara brings a raya for Rabbah. That's the Gemara also would conclude. The Gemara brings maybe a tchiyah, but at least Rabbah learns when you throw a kli for Rosh Hagag, it's considered to be broken right away. Taisa says over here, Taisa is a big yisay. So this Taisa. What happens if a person threw a stone or an arrow on a kli, and someone came and broke the kli? Right? Meaning, not with the case of Rabbah, someone throwing a kli from the roof, and someone coming with a bat and he broke the kli in the air. What happens is he did not throw a kli. Someone threw an arrow from the roof. He's throwing an item, and the item is about to hit the kli. And while it's about to hit the kli, someone came and broke the kli. Do you say Mona Tvira Tova? Says Toisidor, partially you don't say that. Right? Because if so, always destroys all Michatz Nezik. Says Toisidor, the Svara Pshuta Lechalek Bezoik Even Zoik Kli Hatzor. There's a difference between throwing the kli itself and throwing the Even Hatzor. That's Toisidor's Svara Pshuta. So the Achronim have a field day over here. This is a huge discussion. What does it mean? Pashut Pshat means that when you're doing the kli itself, so the pe'ulo, the action start in the kli is already in the process. When I throw an arrow to the kli, on the kli itself, nothing started. Yes, we know that technically the kli will break. True. But the fact that kli will break, it's almost like many things we know in the world will happen. The kli will break. There's even an action that started the process, but it didn't happen in the kli itself. You need to have the kli itself starting the process. If the kli itself started the process, so then you say it's already broken. If the kli itself did not start the process, it's not broken. There's an Imuki Yosef. Very probably the most famous Demuk Yosef ever. The Demuk Yosef says that when a person, he asks a question, we have a din, we're going to learn Daf Beis, that Isha Mishu Chitzov. When you light a candle, when you put a fire, so the Machlok is Isha Mishu Chitzov Mishu Amoina. The one shita is that Ish, lighting a fire, is like throwing an arrow. So says the Demuk Yosef, how do you light candles on Shabbos? If I am lighting a candle on Shabbos, the fire goes on Shabbos. And if you're saying that whatever is going to happen later is already happening in the beginning, so I am already lighting a candle on Shabbos. Whatever's going to happen later, I'm doing right now. So I'm lighting a candle on Shabbos. That's what the Demuk Yosef says. Says the Demuk Yosef, you see from here that the Adam finished the Peula first. What is it? So how does it work? So the Chayim explains it like this. When a person does the Peula, he does the action. He did everything. Everything is done already. The push-up shot, when you throw a kli from the roof, it's already broken. So when you light a candle, you already did it. It's done. Everything that will happen later is already done in the beginning. Okay, maybe we'll just tie it up to the following. We have an issue with this. And the issue is Ner Chanukah. What about candles of Chanukah? We know when you have Chanukah, you have Shabbos and Chanukah. When do you light candles? You light candles before Shabbos. But if you already did all the lighting before, so the Chanukah candles was not lit on Shabbos, it was lit on Friday. How does that work? So you see from here, this is one of the rayas, there's many other rayas, that there's two points over here. There is the Pe'ula of the Adam, what the Adam does. You say the Adam already broke. The already Adam is chayav, the Adam already did whatever he's supposed to do. And then there's the Kli itself. The Kli itself did not break it. Mitzad the Adam, you can't be mechayev Shimon money because Reuven is already chayav. Reuven already did it. But mitzad the Kli is still there. The fire is still lit. So that's why by Chanukah, the candle is still lit. But the action of lighting the candle was not done on Shabbos. You have to be mechayev between the Adam who does it and the action that's actually done. That comes out from the Sugya. This is Rashi Dori Mamish the Kudus Be'almo, just what the big discussion of the Chodim is between lighting something, throwing something, and actually a thing getting broken. Okay, let's go on. Boy, you will. Chatzin Nezek Tzoros Miguva Mishalim or Me'aliyah Mishalim. The Chatzin Nezek Tzoros, so you pay from the body, from the goof, meaning like Karen, or you pay for an Aliyah. Miguva Mishalim, the Ashker Chatzin Nezek Mishalim Aliyah. Chatzin Nezek that we found by Karen, you pay from Gufay. Or do Me'aliyah Mishalim, the Ashker Ka'orchid Mishalim Gufay. Because it's Orchid. In other words, what is the stronger definition of Chatzin of Tzoros? Is Chatzin Nezek Tzoros? Is the din of Chatzin Nezek Tzoros a din of you focus on the Chatzin Nezek part, or you focus on the part that's Orchid? Back just to mention, according to what we mentioned before, in Malin Machlokes Rashi and the Rosh, that sounds very much like the Machlokes Rashi and Rosh. Rashi learns it's a new type of thing. So it's a new type of thing. After the right now is a din of Chatzin Nezek is Gufay. According to the Rosh, it's not. It's Orchid. Says what Toshma Hidus Ein Amud V'Yeshomim Arez Amud. So it's Hidus. We saw the more quotes we said before that the chickens that are dancing on the kelim, it's not Amud. Some say it's Amud. Hidus Sakadak won't even dancing on the kli. If you dance on the kli, that's considered to be an actual gufay. Elalav Hidus V'Hitis. We talk about if it threw in the air. What does it mean Ein Amud? They both agree that you do half a nezek. But Ein Amud you pay me gufay. Even though it's half a nezek. As we said before, we pluk to the suchas rabbanon coming for the gate. The line in the suchas rabbanon is a half a nezek, and nezek shalom. Tashma the Gemara brings another raya. Kelev shenotal charoro. The dog went took a cake, the cake that has coal in it. They used to make these cakes on coal, so it has coal in the cake. He went to the Godish, went to the pile of Tvua. He put the charora on the Godish. He ate the charora, he ate the cake, and he caused with the coal for the fire to burn the Godish. Because that's said to be that he actually ate it. Because it's considered to be throwing. Right? It's like throwing fire into the Godish. My time, because it's tzoros. That's what one understands. That's what one understands right now. It's like throwing a pebble. It said you have to pay chatzes bigufoy. So you see, you do pay bigufoy. Some of it is bro. Which Rav Blazer? Those are their argues, and he holds place Nezek Shalom. Nezek Shalom Migufi Mihashkaron? What do you mean? It says Nezek Shalom and it says Migufi too. So, if he holds Troyos, what do you find Nezek Shalom Migufi? Elke going to Shani back. Talk about here, there was a Shinui, meaning he took the Gachelas, he did something that's not normal, like a Karen. And he holds to pay Nezek Shalom Mishalom, meaning, and we pay Migufi, the Shal is we pay Chatzinez, the Nezek Shalom. So, Veloy, you don't have to say that. My time Muklo Kev Tarfon. Why you want to say like Tarfon? Shu Nezek Shalom. Why you pay Nezek Shalom? He holds that Tsoyros has a din of Nezek Shalom. He also holds like a Budo. Whenever you have Nezek Shalom by a Karen, the half of Nezek that was Migufo stays. You just add another half of Nezek. Right? So meaning, we found that when you have a Nezek Shalom, by Rabbi Yehuda, this is you have Nezek Shalom. So what is Nezek Shalom? Half a Nezek you pay Migufoy because you treat it like the Tam, the piece of Migufoy, and half a Nezek you pay Mi'aliyah. So also when you have Nezek Shalom of Tzoyros, half a Nezek you pay Migufoy, half a Nezek you pay Mi'aliyah. So what's the comparison? How can you compare it? I'm going to have some great Avasha Avino. Aim with the Shamis Rabbi Yehuda betam v'naseh. That's a Tam that became Muad. The Muad mitchilosoi, Muad that starts at the beginning, with David Chesed Beis, Mishamis Lei. Here we talk about Tzoyros that starts at the beginning. Well, how do you compare it to Karen? So there you can't even say that answer. Oh, no. We're talking about Chatzi Nezek Tzoyros, like we said before. So why pay Nezek Shalom Kodeh Blazer? Because he did it 3 times. That's the machlokes. One holds you could Tzoyros after 3 times becomes Nezek Shalom. You can't have Nezek Shalom Tzoyros. It stays Chatzi forever. So where the Adabai Robi Shadot Tzoyros or Ein Adot Tzoyros, this suffix we'll see in a moment. If there is Adot Tzoyros, Ein Adot Tzoyros, so then either Abon and Ein Adot Tzoyros. According to Abon, we have a pshitos. According to Abon, you pay Chatzes even after 3 times. Ila Ablozo Yesh Adot Tzoyros, because we just learned in the Brayso. So if you pay Chatzes, you Nezek Shalom. Amecham Rava says Rava ki Karibai Ledidia Liba Derabon and the Pliga Le the Suchos. I'm asking what Abon the arguing Suchos. No, I'll explain the Brayso. So this is not the discussion. Here it's according to Suchos. Tomat Tzoyros Nezek Shalom Mishalem. Pay Nezek Shalom. The reason why you're paying half an ezek because it didn't be shinui. So that's why you pay half an ezek. And that's like any other chatzin ezek that you do in Mishus Hayachid. Okay, so so you want to say it's Tarfon, but where do you say Gufoy? So where does Reb Tarfon learn that Karen Mishus Hayachid pays Nezek Shalom? So he learns Kavachimer. If in Rishus Harayim pays half an ezek, in Rishus Rabim where Shen regular potter, Karen pays Nezek Shalom, pays Chatzin ezek. So in Rishus Hayochi, the Shen regular Chayov, Kol Sheken, the Karen will pay Nezek Shalom. So that's why the same way in Rishus Rabim you pay me Gufoy Chatzin ezek. So in Rishus Hayochi you pay Nezek Shalom me Gufoy. So what dial of women didn't know can he done? Meaning dial of women can he done? You pay only me Gufoy. Tarfon disagree with Dayo. We'll explain that in a moment. There's Kavachimer. What does it mean? So just to put Shah in the Gemara right now, the Gemara has a back and forth discussion. The Gemara wants to say, what's the machlekes over here? If you're paying Chatzin as an Ezek Shalom, in the case of the fire that came from the dog. So the Gemara concludes, going to Rava, the machlekes is, we're talking here about regular Tzoyros you pay half an ezek. Here's a shinu. Here's something strange. Something not normal. So it's a Karen. What's the machlekes by a Karen? Do you pay half an ezek or Nezek Shalom in Rishus Hayachid? That's the machlekes. And therefore it says over here you pay me Gufoy. Because when you do Karen the first 2 times, you pay me Gufoy. And we want to say that's according to everybody. The only machlekes is you pay half an ezek or Nezek Shalom. Now, why should you pay me Gufoy on Nezek Shalom? So the Gemara explains like this. Reb Tarfon, he learns a Kavachimer. What's a Kavachimer? If Rishus Rabim, you pay half an Nezek, which is a regular Pator. So in Rishus Yachid, which is a regular Chayav, of course you'll pay more Nezek Shalim. Now, Rabbanim, what Rabbanim will do is Kavachemer. They say, Dayal Avoy Minadin, Dot Kedin. They say, 1 second. Yeah, you want to say Kavachemer, if Rishus Rabim, the Chayav, Koshka Rishus Yachid. Okay, Rishus Rabim is Chatzi Nezek, Rishus Yachid is Chatzi Nezek. You can't learn more. That's what Dayal means. Dayal means you have a Kavachemer. The one who's learned cannot be greater than the place he learns from. Reb Tarfon disagrees. So Ed says the Gemara, Reb Tarfon disagrees, and therefore he holds Nezek Shalim. But regarding Gufa, he does agree. When you have a Kavach, if Reb Tarfon's rule is, if I have a Kavachomer, he must teach me something new that I don't know on my own. Says Reb Tarfon, Chatzi Nezek, you have it in Rishus Rabim, you have it in Rishus Yachid, I know on my own. So what does the Kavachomer add? Tarfon says Kavachomer adds that instead of paying Chatzi Nezek in Rishus Yachid, you pay Nezek Shalim. That's what Kavachomer adds. Migufoy, I already have something that Kavachomer adds. So I could still continue saying Migufoy. Meaning, Rav Tarfon says Kavachomer has to add something. So I added something. That's what it's good. That's what the Gemara says. Rav Tarfon lays it down because he holds you have Nezek Shalim. Only when I have a Kavachomer to add something. Here I have a Kavachomer to add something. He said that. That's what you pay Migufoy. Now going back to the suffix. What's the suffix? Yeshadol, it's source. That goes back. Maybe we just learn the next few lines of the Gemara. Gufo, by Rava, Yeshadol, it's source, Yeshadol, it's source. The same question I had before. Lekaren midamir le'edimu tilod the regular. Do you learn like Karen or you learn like regular? Now what's the question? So here there's a very, very important Rashi. The Rashi says there's 2 ways to understand. We're not going to see the whole Rashi, it's a very long Rashi. And the second Rashi in the Amud. We're going to see the first 2 ways to understand the question. Rashi says one way. We're talking about here, go in the second narrow line. Ela b'deshoni b'tzeres. He did a shinu in tzeres. V'ayit shloshim zimzi. And then he did 3 times. V'hachid ha'odor av l'korche. Right? V'amir abon chatzirez k'shar tzeres mu'odim b'tchiloso. V'afilu ha'achi chatzirez g'tuloi. Meaning, a regular tzeres, you do half a nezek. Whatever was the tzeres was done b'shinui. Also half a nezek. Now, when it becomes, we do 3 times, it becomes muad. Do you pay half a nezek? You should continue to pay half a nezek. It won't be ador. Or you say that as Rashi goes on and says, according to Abelazar, told to the Karen. It changed from regular to Karen. So the first shot of Rashi is like this. Chatzi Nezek service, when an animal walks normally, throws a pebble in the air, Chatzi Nezek. What happens if it did not walk normally? It walked a little strange. It did some shinui, and now it threw something in the air. You also pay half an Nezek according to this side of the Gemara. And tomorrow's daf, we'll see, the Gemara wants to say maybe then you pay a quarter. But right now you say you pay half. Now the shaila is, after 3 times, do you pay Nezek Shalom or not? Why not? Because according to Rabbanon, it became tzoros. Tzoros, when a normal tzoros, you pay half a Nezek. So a tzoros mishune, and you got used to it, it goes back to normal, it becomes Chatzi Nezek. Or, and that's the other side, that's a blessed shita according to the Gemara over there. After 3 times, it's not anymore regular, it's Karen. It changed from its most. It became Karen. It became Karen, it becomes Nezek Shalom. And this goes back to what we said in the Arli Malin in the Rashi. Rashi learns, the tzad is, that tzoros is a new thing. So if it's a new thing, the Yichas Gemirah, that's regular. You do Bishinui, okay, you still have a regular. After 3 times, it stays a regular. It doesn't become something new. Or you say no. The Yichas Gemirah, when it's normal, that's a regular. But now that it did Bishinui, it becomes a Karen. So that is the first tzad of Rashi. Lishtachwina, the other way to learn it, the ayah b'tzoros ki chayut lo tozimnu. Regular tzoros. An animal walks, throws a pebble, half an nezek. He does it 2nd time, 3rd time, then 3 times. It pays the Shalom. The same way by Karen, after 3 times, he pays the Shalom. So it's here or not. Now, what will be the svar over here according to this chat? The normal way to understand a Karen is to understand that Karen is After 3 times, the animal got used to it. So now he pays nezek shalom. By tzoros, it's a normal thing. Doesn't get used to it. So you see over here, according to this, the idea is it's not getting used to it. It's exeris hakosov. After 3 times, you have to pay more. Maybe it could be a tain on the owner. The owner has to be more careful. Some want to say it depends on the machlekes if palkin is kaval moina or knaso. Palkin is kaval moina means the Torah was chasadim. First 3 times, now you have to pay more. Palkin is knaso, right? Means is I didn't know. After 3 times, now I know. So by tzoros, right? You can debate if it's the same thing. If it's palkin is kaval moina, meaning the Torah just said Allah really, you should pay the whole thing. The Torah said the first 3 times we have rechwanos on you. So by tzoros also you have rechwanos, then you pay the full thing. But in Pagin, it's a cross, so means the first 3 times not supposed to do it. It was Meshudah. Then he got used to it. It's not cross anymore. By Tzoros, there's not Shayach. So comes over here 2 main pshatim when it says, does Tzoros have Ado? Either we're talking about when it does B'shinui after 3 times again, it becomes Nezek Shalom, or when it does normally after 3 times, it becomes Nezek Shalom. Let's go back to the Gemara now. Kuva Bayu over. Yesh Ado Tzoros or Ado Tzoros. Is Ado Tzoros or not? Karen Medamil. Let's become Karen according to the first shot because it did B'shinui. Or according to the second shot, because it's chatzir nezek. Or dibu told to do regulu, meaning according to the first shot, every tzoros is regular. According to the second shot, after 3 times, it becomes regular. Toshma, it's regular, it doesn't have 3 times. Toshma, he do say, going back to the same raya that we already brought twice. Dancing is not more, the Yeshua reason more. He do sakadaita, when you dance, of course it's normal. Hele, he do zaitis. We talk about that it's through and there. My love, what's the machlok? It's good to over tlotos, if you do it 3 times. According to the first shot of Rashi, you have to say this is B'shinu, even though it doesn't say Shinu. Till now, we didn't understand Shinu. It's a little bit of a doichak. You know, we talk about this the first time, and a regular machlek is just Tzoros Chatzaz or Nezek Shalom. And here I have to say, according to the first shot, that we change it, you say it's not Shinu anymore. Again, first shot of Rashi, a little hard to say it. An animal goes and it has to make, and it causes the dough to get dirty. My laugh, you're going to over Totazim. What's the book like? It did 3 times. It's ado 3 times becomes mud. There's no ado. And here you have to say that it did it. I think what I was going to say in a moment. According to first Rashi, where is the shinui? But it says more than bechadzim. The Gemara says it's a b'chalekes rabbanon in Sukkos the first time. So so you see like Rashi. According to Rashi, the Gemara understood the whole time was Mishuni. So that's the Gemara explained that we're talking about Bishinu. Because the second Rashi, the Gemara till now did not start with Bishuni. So when the dachikle, when Mishuni for an animal to make on Esau, well, the dachikle had a stomach ache, had diarrhea, had to go and make. So why, according to this, why are you saying machlekes be'alma? It's machlekes. Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Loza. Just say it's chatzir. It's tzoros pay half an ezek shalom. Says the Gemara. Gelolim itzurle. I want to speak about gelolim specifically. Sagada feces. Sagada mino you about the gufi green gufi dami. I don't think the feces is part of the body because it comes from the body. So maybe it has a different din. That's a chiddush. Toshma, bring another ayah. Tani Rabbi Cheskel, Tanigol shoishit roisher la'avir klis chuchis v'tokaboy. A chicken put his head into a glass vessel, and he blew into it with his ear. The shaver, shav nezek shalom. Pays nezek shalom, even though we do it with the ear. Another example, sus shitzon of a chomesh shener. Don't know if you have the exact translation, let me know. But a horse and a donkey who did they made their noise and they caused Yeshiva, they made the kli break. So they say chatzirezek. What's the machlokes? My love killing the other tlatas, you did 3 times. Now if you test the mudalef, ube'ap can get the same machlokes. Spar sova yeshado, ma sova einado. That's machlokes. It's well loy bechadzim. It's 1 time. Well, plug to the sukkahs or whatever. That's machlokes. This is considered to be tzoros, doing noises or air coming out of the animal. And the question is, chatzirezek, nezek shalom. So isn't that a little a mishunadik? That he's putting the head into a kli and blowing into it? It's more no. It's not mishunadik. The ispei bazroni. There is seeds. There is wheat in the kli. So the chicken wants to reach and eat it. So he puts it in, it makes a noise and breaks the kli. So it's mishune, and that's what's a regular tzroiris, and that's a machlekes. So no rayo over here to Rava. Do we have a adol tzroiris or not? So Gemara does not push it this suffix. Okay, very good. We'll stop over here. Be'ez Hashem, continue tomorrow night.